Thank you for listening to the Old 77 podcast. But what did I do?
And welcome back to the Old 77.
In an unsafe world.
Maddie is not on.
How does that happen?
Dave, do
every
you
time?
fucking hate me? Like, this is the second time
Wait, hold on.
in this show
Hold on.
that you fucking muted my ass.
Who are you?
Hi there. This is the Old 77.
Am I
It's a
on?
safe place in an unsafe world.
How
Right
soon?
here, right now.
Warning: foul language may occur due to the subject matter.
Oh man, I'm so friggin' horny.
Become a subscriber at patreon.com/the-old-77-podcast. Subscribers get bonus content and early access to episodes. Find out more at patreon.com/the-old-77-podcast. Thanks for listening.
Sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
Oh, sex, drugs, and rock and roll. It is official. It is swamp ass season here in Missouri.
That is true.
Yes, sir.
From the Old 77 studios. This is the Old 77. It is a safe place.
In an unsafe world.
Hello,
Gentlemen,
guys.
it is great to be back. To
It
see your
is.
beautiful faces, and we have a guest tonight.
Yes.
We have a good guest tonight.
My
It's going to be a
man.
great show.
My man, an old friend of mine from way back in the Vermont days. He's my Vermont dad. I always tell people, like, I always describe him as my Vermont dad when I spent a couple years up there.
Right, except your dad would. Your
Louie
dad wouldn't
Manno.
hook you up with where to get, where to get weed. So,
Yeah.
Oh, here we go again.
Oh, he's the cool dad.
Yeah, here
Yeah,
we go
he's
again.
the cool dad. Louie Manno, Vermont Hall of Fame broadcaster. Welcome, brother.
Welcome to the show, Louie.
Welcome,
hey,
sir.
nice to be on with you guys. The Old 77.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Yeah.
We're excited to have you, man.
So, Louie, what have you been doing with yourself these days?
Well, I'm I worked with Matt here in Vermont. What was that? 2007.
2008, 2009. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I first met Matt, I said to him, "Hey, how you doing? Where you from?" He told me he just moved in from Florida, and that he had a moving truck worth of stuff coming, and
Yeah.
he was excited to be there. And then I said to him, "Look, I don't want to bust your bubble, but
He basically
This,
laid it out for me there.
this is we worked for a company, and their main business was renting tower space. So the guy that owned the company bought radio stations just so he could have the towers to rent out space,
Mm-hmm.
because that cell phones were starting to take off back then.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
And so that's why we were in a radio station. What were there, Matt? There were 7 fully equipped studios in there, and there was like 1 live show going on in the whole building.
Yeah, there was 7. There was a 7-station cluster, and
Oh, man.
the general manager of that cluster was a fun sucker. We've talked about him on previous episodes.
yeah.
We called him Bobula.
Bobulin.
So Louie and I, we would
Well, I'll tell you. You want to hear the story? I mean, it is a
Go for it.
podcast, so I guess you could tell any freaking.
Yeah, you
joke.
can
Yes,
say
you
anything.
can say anything you want, man.
Curse word, no FCC
So,
here,
right.
man.
So, I mean, it's not. It's what I'm saying is, it's just a boring story about getting a job. I run a station with my buddies, and then we sold it. Of course, the guy that bought it off us had to keep us on a year, as part of the deal. And he got rid of us like the day the year was up. He threw us out of there. So I put a deli in town called the Radio Deli, and while I was at the Radio Deli, I got to go back on my old show again, because the owner, we were getting the news because the radio guys owned a deli. So it's a small town. It's easy to get on the news around here.
Mm-hmm.
One time I got on the evening news, especially by walking around with a box on my head, but that's another story.
I don't know. That
So
sounds like a
we were on
necessary
for a
story to
while.
tell.
And then, I eventually told the guy, I was like, I'm literally too busy, actually running a business and having a real job to do this. So, you can take off with that. Then when I sold the deli it's like 7 or 8 years later,
Mm-hmm.
I decided I would like to go back into broadcasting. And I was like, well, who the hell's going to hire me around here? And I don't really feel like moving. So I said, okay, I'm going to be a consultant because, I have all this experience. So I walked into this cluster.
It's cluster fucking
And
me.
I said to the then general manager, I said, listen, I know you have 7 stations. I know you don't really have anything going on. Nobody knows about any of your stations. I've got a little name recognition around here, and I have some ideas, and maybe I can, help put your stations on the map. He said, okay, we'll come back in 2 days and we'll make a deal. And in that ensuing time, the one live show they had was a country show.
Of course.
And the guy named G.G. Griggs, and he wrapped his pickup truck around a stoplight in the middle of the night and died in the middle of the negotiation. And they called me up and said, look, we can't ask you this, but could you take over this guy's show for a while? And, then we'll, talk about the consulting gig later on. So I was like, well, it's not that I don't like country music. It's just that I'm a Brooklyn boy. I don't really know much about country music.
Yeah.
But I said, okay, I needed a job. I took the job. And then, when I got in there, I said, look, to the audience, I'm from Brooklyn, New York, and all I know about country music is what I'd seen on like Hee Haw and on the Beverly Hillbillies. So I started calling myself the Brooklyn Buckaroo, and then I would play the music and analyze it and go, wait a minute, like there'd be a song called "I'll Take Fries with That," and I would play the song and I would analyze it and go, so the guy lost his girlfriend, the guy stole his truck, and he wants to give him fries too. I would analyze the movie. And, and then from there, I wound up staying at the station. That's where I eventually met Matt. It was just a strange radio station. Nobody really cared about what was going on.
It was
I would go days at a time without seeing anybody in there. I mean, literally days at a time. So.
Wow.
It was a very odd feeling. It was like you're in the radio Twilight world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It really was a Twilight world.
But then you had this vampire cruising the hallways. Just
right, but the guy that hired me got fired because in order to collect his bonus as a general manager, he had to sell a certain amount of advertising, and he didn't. So he fudged the book.
Yeah, he
got caught doing
Jesus.
Nice.
So they fired him. They fired his ass, and then this guy Bobula takes over, and he was like what was he? Matt, what was he? He was there. I used to call him that because
he would suck the fun out of him.
He called me in his office. Right, but after the transition, he called me in his office. And he's standing near a window, and he, like some older people, their skin is translucent. I could literally see blood flowing through his veins while he was talking to me. I just couldn't stop looking at it.
It was definitely distracting because every time I had a one-on-one, or if he came into like voice a spot, and this client like requested this guy to be on it, I'm like, why? He sucks. He's terrible. He's like a terrible voice guy. But he would come in. I'm just distracted by his like vampire-ish like skin, dude. I'm like, oh my god. Do you hang upside down when you go to bed?
Right.
Like he was a creepy guy.
I mean, we would have company meetings, and Matt would just make eye contact with me.
Yeah.
And he would lose the meeting. And then he would afterwards, we'd go out in the hall, he'd punch me in the arm and go, "Don't fucking do that to me."
Yeah.
Like, hey dude, I'm just sitting there.
Yeah, he was a POS. I remember when towards the end of my time in that cluster, I was actually I was a target of Bobula.
Blah!
Were you really?
So the traffic girl whose desk was like directly next to his office, and those walls were like paper thin. I mean, they
really were.
This place was a dump. And she heard Bobula talking to the GM at the time about how negative I was, and Matt's attitude has to change or something has to happen.
Blah!
So she came in, she's like, Bobula's talking about you. So I was like, well, fuck. I mean, I was like, what's he? She's like, it's all negative. So like, I went down the hallway, knocked on his door. He opened it. I was like, do we need to have a talk? He's like, hi, Matt, how are you? Like acting nice.
Yeah.
Because he was the type of guy who would be like super nice to you, asking about your family.
Oh, I hate that
but
dude.
But if you're not around, he's stabbing you directly in the back.
Yep, we know the type.
Hey, can I say something about radio that I think is a universal truth, and all you guys, I think, will agree with me.
Please.
It attracts absolute best people in the world and the most vicious, low-life scumbags in the world.
my
It really
God.
does.
Dude,
Yeah.
I've met the most interesting
Because you know
people
who's
in
in
radio.
radio?
Mm-hmm.
You know who's in radio? People that want to be famous but have no talent.
Right.
That's
Yes.
who's in radio.
You're right.
Yeah, so you get some big egos.
It really is.
Yeah.
And
It's
they
like,
all want
hey,
to swing it
what's your
around.
talent? Oh,
Mhm.
I like to be the center of attention.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it is also another reason people get into. Back in my day, people got into late. If you're like a plain-looking guy, you might have a shot if you had an interesting job. Back, you know, in the back in the 70s and 80s. So that's another reason a lot of people got into radio. So not the best crop of people in the world, I'll tell you.
No.
Yeah. Wide range of people
Yeah,
in
but
my experience.
Literally, it was me and Louie, and then a guy named JJ Preve, who was the program director of one of the radio stations, and that was it. That was the only live programming bodies we had in the building. And Louie and I became real close, and so like I got a DUI there.
Mm-hmm.
Louie went to court with me. He's like, man, I feel bad for you. He's like, do you need me to go with you? I was like, could you?
Yeah.
So like I stood there
Yeah.
pleading to the judge, look, man, I messed up. You can look at my record.
Tear
Right.
in his eye.
Matt,
owned
you know
it.
what?
You-
Matt got a good deal without a lawyer.
Yeah,
He
because
got
he
a very
owned
good
it.
deal without having a lawyer.
So if you don't need a lawyer, call me up.
Yeah,
I'll
that's
stand
right.
in for you.
Like, listen, man, Dave
Don't
fucked
do
up.
that. Choice of a lawyer should not be solely chosen by.
Make sure that you speed that up super fast on the episode.
But not only that, they said
Choice
Well,
of
I
a
mean,
lawyer
what-
should not be chosen.
I mean, my thought is too.
Yeah.
If you were dead to rights and you got caught being drunk and driving,
Yeah,
you know, a lawyer's really not going to help you that much, really.
sure.
especially if you blew like mine was a .17.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm drunk. Like I
Yeah.
wasn't going to
It
deny
was a
that I was not.
.7.
.17. Yeah.
Oh,
I'm like a
that's pretty-
1.7 is like dead, right?
I know. I knew a guy.
I was going to say,
I knew a
you had
guy.
a pretty good load on there, Matt.
And Devin, if you're
Can't
listening
tell
to
if these
this,
stoic Irish guys how drunk they are. You
It's my
can't tell.
first time, Judge. Really?
he's like, "Damn, you really
Does
went
Matt
over."
still do the same thing where he gets a little quiet when he's in dark when he's drunk? No, I'm only kidding.
Yeah,
Start
right.
peeing in corners and
Yeah,
stuff.
No,
right.
not really. No.
No, he becomes super lovable.
I'm just busting your ball.
Well, I do know a guy. His name's Devin. He lives in Florida now. An old friend of mine, and he contacts me once in a while. He blew a .30. He was literally dead driving a car.
Jesus.
Oh, that's dead. That is dead.
Yeah, he went to jail for it, obviously.
For being dead.
Wow.
Can't drive that way.
They arrested him. Well, they knocked
I
on
would
his
hate to
door
be
and
the
arrested
bartender
him.
that served that guy. Damn. I
No
mean,
shit,
No
right?
kidding, right?
That guy was getting
when a
hammered.
guy blows that heavy, you know, you would have a clue by the time he leaves, you know?
Mm.
I wonder,
But he
like,
was a good tipper. I don't
Yeah.
understand.
I wonder what the world record is for highest blood alcohol content. You know, without
Without dying?
dying.
I would
don't
say
know.
probably that.
That's
Probably
a, that,
borderline.
Yeah.
that's a record. I'm not going to try
you
to
could-
chase.
So moving
If
from
I
our-
wasn't talking to you on my phone, I'd Google it. Hey,
Oh,
Matt,
it's
speaking
okay.
about bars, you remember when we were at the Maple Festival and we go to that
oh
dive
my
bar?
god, yeah.
And there's all these bikers in there.
Was that like St.
And then he
Albans?
goes, hey everybody, and he points to me. This is the Brooklyn Buckaroo. Freaking asshole.
What an asshole.
He literally gave me one of those New York looks like,
Fucking
fucking
asshole.
Yeah.
The Maple Festival.
Yeah, have like Vermont. This is what they have up there, dude.
Yeah.
They cherish their maple.
Maple syrup,
you
man.
know, their
Oh,
cheese,
man.
their beer.
Yeah.
You know,
Their cousins and their
Vermont.
sisters.
They're very simple folks.
Well, and fish. Fish is Vermont.
There's a lot of cool musicians up there, like Andrew and Margaret. Like I had a bunch of friends
There's,
up there.
there's a lot of
that I
cool
met from.
people. But now we're
Lot of good
taking on a
people.
lot of we're taking on a lot of posers up here in Vermont, though. It is becoming like Colorado here. It really is.
yeah.
Is it like a hipster paradise or something?
Oh, it was when you were here, but it's just thicker, man. It's thicker. There's less real people around. There really is. It's really hard not to offend people around here. It really is. It really, really is.
Mm-hmm.
That's a
You know,
shame.
like the whole mask. And people will get right in your face if you don't wear a mask around here.
Oh my
man.
god, are
They
you
really.
kidding?
Still?
Still?
That's ironic.
Oh yeah. I mean, the governor just lifted the ban around here,
Yeah.
and you don't really need a mask, especially if you're vaccinated.
Right.
But
Right.
I still get looks when I go in stores. You know.
Mm-hmm.
That's sad that we've come to this in society where someone's going to judge you for your mask. You know, it's your
Well,
right
it's
to
pretty
not-
easy to do that, isn't it? It's a pretty easy way to judge somebody. You don't really have to
Absolutely.
think.
It's pretty black and
I'm
white.
hanging out with the math people.
It's funny because it's the other
There's
way.
a lot of-
It's the other way around here in Vermont. I mean, in Missouri, if you're seen with a mask on, you know, they're like,
People
"Dude,
might give you looks.
this guy's an idiot."
Yeah.
And you
That's
know,
cool.
yeah. And here in Missouri, man, like we're done with wearing masks. Like people were tired of it. So.
Pretty much.
It does seem that way. It feels that way.
Yeah.
That we're just out of nowhere. It's just done.
I hardly see anyone.
Well,
with a
that's the
mask
thing.
on.
It does feel like it's over, doesn't it? It feels
Yeah.
like it's over.
Yeah.
No one's talking about it anymore.
For now, though,
Right.
what happens if it comes back? That's my worry.
Yeah.
When I think it's when it's convenient for the government to bring it back.
I mean,
What-
look. Didn't it seem to you that they held on to this power a little longer than?
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
And,
Absolutely.
and you know the small businesses really were the only ones hurt around here. Like, I own this deli, and I can tell you, if I went 4 days without revenue, I'm gone. I'm
Yeah,
out of
right,
business.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I don't know how these people did it. You know,
Yeah, man.
everything's closed around here, Matt. There's a lot of stuff that you remember is closed.
Yeah.
It's
Really,
not
all
open.
the- like a lot of those like cool private places.
Yeah,
Wow.
a lot of them are closed.
How about that?
Yeah, that's what sucks about this whole thing,
Well,
man.
they talk about all the dead people, but you know what? You're not talking about the people who are living still, who are suffering through all their financial problems. I mean, it affected more of the living than it did the dead.
Yes.
Let's be honest.
Right, and we don't really know. We don't really know exactly what the numbers are because nobody died of cancer, nobody died of the flu.
Right.
There weren't many traffic accidents. You know, we don't know. But anyway, every other freaking
It was so
podcast is talking
politicized.
about
It was
that.
so politicized, man. We don't know really what the
Yeah.
truth is. Let's be honest. It was so politicized.
Well, I'm not. I work out of my house now. I'm an older guy, and I'm not quite out in the world as much as I used to be. So I observe this whole thing. And,
Yeah.
I'm a guy that grew up in the 70s and 80s where the world was a lot cooler then, I will tell you.
Absolutely,
People,
Yeah.
man.
people had laughs. People knew how to laugh. And people knew exactly what they needed to know about the world around them in history, but
Yeah.
they didn't make it their whole freaking life. So I look at the way things have gotten now, and I guess I'd become the old man that shakes his head all the time because that's what I am now.
I can't wait to be that old man.
Yeah, I feel like I am that man already
I
sometimes.
also,
Louie,
man,
you're not alone.
No, you guys are old souls.
I also want to be that
You
old
guys
man
are
that
old
can
souls.
walk up into a store and just start stuffing shit in his pants, right? And everybody's they're like,
Well,
"Oh, that's just that old Scott guy. He's totally fine. Just let him go.
He's cool.
Apparently, you could do that now.
right?
You've seen the news, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, San Francisco.
Just
I
walk
was
in.
watching it. Not again. Everybody's talking about this stuff, but I'm watching the news this morning, and they show a film, and I'm watching CBS News,
Right.
and they show a film of a guy going into a Walgreens, and he's just stuffing stuff down his pants. And then one of the anchors goes, "Well, if somebody does, that's a desperate act. He must be hungry if he's doing that."
I don't know. Maybe he's just a criminal.
That is not the reaction that you have. I mean, the guy was stealing razor blades. Those are expensive, by the way.
Right.
Yeah,
I
no
feel like
shit.
stealing razor.
If he's stealing like a thing
You
of
know-
steak
You know
or
what pisses
something.
me off?
There you go.
Printer ink. I hate printer ink.
Oh yeah.
You know
Why?
when Carly Fiorina was running for president
Uh
and she was in the debates, I was like, ask her why the fucking ink's so expensive.
huh.
Printer ink is
Printer
too
ink.
damn high.
What do they do? Milk
That's your
the
new
gold
political party.
out
The
for it?
price of ink is too damn high.
Let's see Harry's Shave Club take on ink.
Yeah.
Battle Royale.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd see that.
So what did your network? Not that I'm interviewing you, but I'm just wondering what a sports network does during a pandemic when you don't have games happening. How did you guys fill that in?
Well, that's a really good question, Louie, because we did a lot of alternative programming where we did
Yeah, we scrambled.
we scrambled and we did classic game setups where we would come up with a log. We would have a set number of commercial breaks, which is like 10 commercial breaks. And then we would have segments. So we'd have to go into these games and cut out like a certain amount of the game and then it would all be like pre-cut, and then we would have to place it, and then we would load it up for download on our cloud drive.
Yeah.
So all these affiliates can go and like download all of these classic games off of their affiliate website.
Yeah, just repackaged old shit, basically.
Yeah.
Right. We did a lot of that. I spent.
Yeah.
Did you get any feedback? Did people listen to that? I know, like
Yes.
we were Yankee affiliates on my radio station, and we used to tape some games in the summer and run them in February, just to get people all whipped up for baseball again.
We ended up.
And we had a lot of listeners for that.
Yeah, we ended up fulfilling a lot of our national commitments with that.
Mm-hmm.
So it worked out. We got to keep a good chunk of change, and we ended up diverging off into an esports network. We started one of those during the pandemic.
Yeah.
Where we're treating it like game day. We're also setting up to do more in terms of sports and stuff too. Like they broke out into bleachers and into concessions. So when it all comes back, we're gonna be banging.
Yeah.
Right
down to your ticket,
great.
man.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's great. You need to do fighting robots and more
a
stuff
thing.
like
That's
that.
next.
Yeah, that's
More
a
fighting
thing.
robots.
So you
And
believe it or
look,
not,
there's a great gaming network I watch sometimes. It's like, here I am. I'm watching friggin' kids play video games on TV. It's pretty good though.
It's truly amazing, and it's $1 billion industry.
The media is so exciting.
yeah. Last year, the esports
Wow, that is
industry
cool.
brought in $12 billion. They're projected to bring in 24 next year.
Double.
B with a
Wow.
billion. Yeah, they've been doubling every year in the United States.
What was I watching
Well,
the other
they
day?
should pay,
I was watching
should pay the
some
amateur
show the other
athletes.
day
Yeah.
where I was watching like a talk show, and they had a video game player on the talk show. Like that was all he was known for, was playing video games.
Yeah, there's a video gamer out. I think his name's Rush. I
Right.
think. Yeah. Yeah, and he's like literally been on the Nike, shoes. He's got Nike shoes. He's got a Wheaties box out.
This guy was in Sports Illustrated. The
Yeah.
guy that I
Dude,
was...
it's a whole new
pretty
generation of sports. Dude.
It's a thing now, man.
I think it's cool.
Yeah, it's real cool.
Yeah.
Hey, we're gonna take a break
I
real quick.
like BattleBot.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah.
Louis, just,
You guys are
hold
gonna
on.
take a break.
Yeah, hold on. Hold on to that thought. Shout out to my boy Bryce Hickman at Hickman's Automotive. Check him out on
Yeah,
Facebook or at his website. Dude, he is a talented guy, and he has some great people working for him. Has great prices. Check him out if you need auto work done. And also Last Flight here in Jefferson City.
Yes.
Right there on Heisinger Road.
Yep.
Boom.
Dave and Bobby Showers will be playing there July 21st.
My birthday.
Guy right here.
Dude, I'm telling you, the playlist, I can only imagine what it is.
Oh man, we're gonna have some fun.
a lot of Jack Johnson,
gonna be
Sublime.
good.
Yeah,
Maybe a little hip hop thrown in there,
for
right?
sure, for sure. If
Also-
the people want it.
Don't forget, you guys can check us out on patreon.com. Get video of today's show.
That's right.
Patreon.com/the Old 77 podcast.
That's right.
Yeah, the Old 77 podcast.
That's
So
right.
we'll be right back with Broadcast Hall of Famer in Vermont, my boy Louie Manno. We'll be right back.
Round 2.
The Brooklyn Buckaroo.
Yeah, boy.
Giddy up.
We're right back there, just heading into the sunset on my horse.
In the Groove, Vinyl Records and More has the widest variety of new and used music, carrying new and reissued vinyl, used CDs and cassette tapes. In business for over 20 years, offering the best variety and service we possibly can. In the year 2000, we started out as a little hole in the wall, and now In the Groove is a full-service record shop with thousands of records to choose from. Buying rock, jazz, R&B, soul, and blues records, 33s, 45s, and 78s. We also buy CDs and cassette tapes. We've been buying and selling since 2000. In the Groove is a one-stop shop for records, stereo equipment, CDs, and other fun oddities. 708 Jefferson Street, Jefferson City, Missouri. Give us a thumbs up and follow us on Facebook. In the Groove, Vinyl Records and More.
Okay.
All right. Welcome back to the Old 77.
It's a safe place.
In an unsafe world.
Now we're doing it right.
Yeah, we're back with Louie Manno. all the way from Burlington,
man.
Vermont.
Special guest.
Yes, sir.
So what it do, Louie?
Broadcast Hall of Fame.
Yes, sir. Hey, Louie, let's get back to you were telling us about you and Jim Condon, God rest his soul. You guys owning the radio station. Tell us how you got into that kind of predicament.
All right. Well, I worked with Jim in Mystic, Connecticut, and I enjoyed working with Jim. We just had when you riff with people, you guys know what it's like, right? When you find somebody that you can work well with, you riff.
Sure.
Right.
Well, we're sitting right here.
Yeah, we're doing it.
Stuff. You just good stuff just comes out, and it feels really good to be up in that place,
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to work with Jim again. I just thought that, both of our careers would do better if we teamed up. So I was working in Hartford, Connecticut, at one of the biggest FMs in the country, WTIC FM. And I had just been filling in on their morning show, which had like 3 million listeners. And I was like 25 at the time. I was scared shitless, but I did it, and they liked it. But they leaked to the paper in Hartford that they weren't going to hire the guy whose show I was doing was out on contract negotiations, and that they decided to permanently replace him. And then I read it in the paper, and they inferred that it was me. So I got all excited. I'm like, we're all set. That I would have went from working overnights to doing this great morning show. I was like going nuts. And then my boss called me, you didn't read the paper, did you? I said, yeah. He says, look, we're trying to get Gary to come back. And I kind of leaked that to the paper to make him want to come back. And, we're grooming you for our other radio station in San Francisco. So please be patient. Wow. I'm sorry I did that to you. Just then, my friend Jim happened to be in town visiting his brother. And he said, there's an opening in Vermont, and I think they'll match your pay, because I was in the union at the time. Mm-hmm. And I said, all right, let's go. And I pulled up stakes and moved to Vermont. So I worked here a while, and it went very well. It was mostly automated stations in the market when I got here. And the first news story I saw was that the electric plant that burns wood, people were complaining because the wood chips smell like vinegar. So I went to the local garden center and I bought a case of, wood mulch, and I sprayed it with vinegar, and I put it in baggies, and I had the labels made up, and I went around town, introduced myself, giving away commemorative wood chips from the wood plant. That's how I met. And so, from there I took off pretty well, my buddy Jimmy and I, and we were big fans of sketch comedy, so we wrote a lot of bits. And we had the socialist mayor, Bernie Sanders, was the mayor of our town at that time. And yes, that Bernie Sanders. Mm-hmm. So we did a bit about him based on an old TV show called Leave It to Beaver. It's quintessential 1950s, white bread America. And they have a couple of kids. So Beaver's one of the kids. We made Bernie Beaver. And so, they would have plots like, he's a newspaper boy, but if William F. Buckley has a column, he tears it out. He tears out all the, politically undigestible stuff. His lemonade stand sells lemonade on a sliding scale based on your ability to pay. Mm-hmm. We did stuff like that. That really put us on that.
So was Bernie ever
and then,
on the
I had
show?
Did you ever get him really on the show?
Oh, yeah, he was. Yeah.
Was he really?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, his big complaint was he didn't mind the Leave It to Bernie. His big complaint that he didn't get more airtime to talk about his policies for the city. So I think they gave him a Sunday show after he complained about it.
Wait, was he cool about it though? Did he take it with good humor at least?
I mean, you really can't tell with Bernie because he's always got a sourpuss. But
he's always grumpy, right?
Yeah, I mean, we were very true to him. Like we didn't make disparage him as a human being. We just juxtaposed his politics into the real world. Right. And by the way, the real world wasn't that crazy back then. So
yeah, no shit.
It's a lot funnier. Now people go, well, what's so funny about that? So anyway,
somebody's gonna get mad.
What eventually led us to buying a radio station is me getting fired. And the reason I got fired was I had for my previous job, I had a tour jacket with my name on it. And my then general manager, who I guess was doing an 8-ball of Coke a night at the time.
Jesus.
Hey, it was the 80s, right?
Wore my jacket. He wore my jacket. He went to a couple of bars saying he was me and was trying to pick chicks up, saying he was me. So one morning on my show, I get a call from some a young lady, and she goes, "You were pretty wild in the bar last night."
Oh, no.
So I said, And I said, let me ask you something. Am I bald? Because he was bald. He goes, yes. I said, oh, that wasn't me, but I know who that was. And then when I got off the air, I knew the honeymoon was over for me at that radio station.
Oh, man.
And then, I'd gotten a buddy of mine a job as the PD there, and he basically essentially said, look, Louie makes 20 grand a year more than you. And if you help me get rid of them, I'll give you that money. So that put me out into the world. And then I didn't know what to do. I went for a few job interviews. I got offered jobs. I didn't want to leave.
Right.
So I was doing odd jobs in the town. It was funny. I was selling T-shirts in a cart. I worked at the fair as a roadie. I actually roadied for Myron Florin, a famous accordion player at the time. None of you guys know the reference, so I shouldn't even mention it. But
I'm like, anybody? Anyone?
No, right over my head.
Protege of
I ran into a guy who was doing a talk show on a competing station. He goes, I'm going to Florida for a month. Why don't you take over my show? So I said, yeah, I never did talk radio, but I'll do that. Mm-hmm. So I did the show, and I loved it. It was just like, great. I don't have to play any records. I could just blah, 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 blah. And my buddy Jim was working for a campaign as a press secretary at the time. And I would have him on as a guest. And then suddenly I said, why don't you quit that job and work with me? So he did quit the job, but the guy didn't want to hire him. I had the guy split my salary with him. And we worked there. I eventually was made general manager of the station. And I hired all my out-of-work buddies. I had like a huge payroll. And it lasted about a year before the guy who was it was a holding company. He didn't know what the hell he was doing, and I didn't either. And he eventually wanted to put the company up for sale, and that's when I put together a coalition of rich people that I knew in the area, and we bought the station. And we owned the station for 10 years. It was great.
Was that the best 10 years of your life? As far
it
as,
was professionally. It was hard. It was a hard 10 years.
Yeah.
Because everything cost $5,000. Like we started we bought this radio station for like $300,000, and then we had like a month worth of operating capital, and that runs out really quick. Mm-hmm. And so we had to sell ads. Our ads were like $10 each, But every time something broke, it cost $5,000. Need a new tube in a transmitter? $5,000. Need a new capacitor? $5,000. So we didn't always pay ourselves.
How many times?
And subsequently, I had to take like odd jobs. So
yeah.
How many times did you like Jimmy rig something just to have it work so you guys can be on
I
the air
jerry rigged like nobody's business, man. One time we had a hum on the station. It was out of our main studio, and we were almost all local shows. Mm-hmm. And so whenever I touched a wire, the hum would stop. So I had to crouch on the floor all day and hold a friggin' wire all day to keep the hum from stopping.
So did somebody relieve you so you could at least take bathroom breaks?
Right.
I did. We did work in like 2-hour shifts, but we did. We took care of each other.
Yeah.
In the meantime, I was writing commercials under there while I'm holding it, like with a legal pad, my other hand.
Yeah, man, you gotta be productive, right?
Right. And the whole operation we called it the crack house. That was our name for it.
That's pretty good.
We had the door on the bathroom had no hinges on it, so we'd have to it was like a hatch that we had to put it in front of the door when we went to the bathroom. It was really quite an experience. And we didn't have much to work with either,
Yeah.
If there was a mouse at the radio station, we would put a microphone in the bathroom where the mouse was and by the trap, and let's check in with the mouse mic.
So you guys were I mean, it's great that you had full creative control over it.
Right.
Oh man, we did such strange stuff there. We used to do every other Saturday we did a show called the Reggae Polka Fest, and it was literally a song. We played one polka song and one reggae song. We played one polka song and one reggae song. Well, the reason why we did it was because on the air was playing around with one of the turntables, and I played a reggae song fast. I said, it sounds just like a polka.
Yeah,
we got a reggae album, played it slow. Like, oh wow, it sounds polka sounds like a reggae when you play it slow. So that's how that started.
Yeah,
but we did things because we could do them.
What was your
listenership
like with being so creative? Like being that
local. We were beating all the big 100,000, 100,000 watt FM stations. We were like tied with Howard Stern, when we were in our market.
Wow.
And yeah, we did it pretty well. But again, it doesn't really make you a lot of money if you can't hire salespeople.
Right.
Because the salespeople go on a job interview and they see the dump that you're working out of. And they go, well, I think I could do better somewhere else,
Yep. Yeah.
So it was like a bunch of kids in the neighborhood chipping in and buying a radio station and running it for 10 years. And it was all the fun that sounds like, and a lot of hard work.
Sounds like a hell of a lot of hard work.
Yeah, it sounds like.
Here's the thing that we did: all the radio stations used to have these great contests where they would give stuff away, and during sweeps. Like they give you a trip to Europe or you get a car. One station was giving away a Winnebago. And so I went on the air that morning in the middle of all that. And I said, geez, all these other radio stations are giving stuff out. We don't really have much, we don't have any deals lined up where we give stuff like that away. I said, well, I'll think of something. So we started bringing in our own stuff. Like, play our trivia contest and win Jim's waffle iron. We would do that. And then I said, I'll really think about it. We'll come up with something great. So I started running promos. And what I did was I listened to all the stations in the market, and I figured out what they were giving away, and I added it up. And it added up to like $300,000.
Wow.
So I ran a promo saying, your chance to win your share of $300,000 in prizes given away on the radio. It's the last contest. So we ran promos, and then what I did was I got a bunch of interns to listen to all the other radio stations, and then as soon as they would tell you, like, we want the 9th caller to win a chance for a trip to France, we would give the number out on our show, like, call WETF number right now to win a trip to France. So we used to run trade ads, where you barter ads with one entity and another. So we had barter ads in the local daily newspaper, and I took all the radio stations' contest, the explanations that they printed in the paper, and I miniaturized them, and I put in a full-page ad with all the radio stations' contests, and with a headline: "Win them all with Manno and Condon."
Brilliant, man.
Win it all.
That is brilliant.
That's thinking outside the box.
That is way
to
outside
the T. You know what I mean? Like.
And what was fun about it, it got us on TV. We would get on our local news all the time. We were friends with all the the local reporters, and we got on TV for stuff. Like I would make a bet with Jim, and if I lost, I would go to the local park, and I would lay on the ground and have seagulls eat French fries off of me. It's just stupid, it's little stupid stuff like that. So what would happen is listeners would show up, and then we would just really do the most ridiculous stuff. Like we'd have one of the weathermen on as a guest, and a listener had brought us in zucchini. Nobody wants zucchini when people bring it in. So I gave it to the weatherman. I said, when you're on your show tonight doing the weather, put this on your desk in the weather center. And then everybody who's listening will have had a moment with you. Like they'll know, oh, that's the thing from this morning. He said, sure, I'll do it. We did that, and the freaking phone ran off the hook at the radio station. We got like 500 calls when that ran. It's like, they have your zucchini on TV. You can have fun if you want it.
But isn't that like the most amazing feeling though, to know that many people like were listening and were touched by like what you were doing, and they wanted to like participate with it?
Yeah, man, that many people were touched by your zucchini.
Yeah, your zucchini alone.
Well,
Uh-oh.
Hey, Louie, hold on 1 second, buddy.
We lost you.
I think we lost your audio.
Give us 1 second. We'll get you
So,
back real quick.
We're going to do a hot reconnect here real quick, Louie.
Yeah.
We'll be calling you right back, and
Yes.
this is all live
Yay!
on the old 77.
This redial is brought to you by our friends at 60 Spirit.
Yes,
Yeah.
and West Main Pizza, bringing you this handy-dandy redial of Louie.
Louie, okay.
Beep, 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 beep. Beep, 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 beep.
We calling.
We calling.
We calling you. There it is.
Here he is.
Hey, there
He's
you
back.
are.
He's back. We got him. Hey, we handled that like pros.
We
Yeah,
did
we
handle
did,
that
yeah.
sort of semi.
That was really quick.
Yeah.
It takes so much longer on Fox News to do that.
Yeah. Thanks, Mark.
Doesn't it
So,
seem that way?
where are you guys? Are you at the radio station or the?
Oh no, we are in Scott's basement.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We're
That
at my
is a-
house.
That is an excellent looking studio there, man.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you very much.
I'm sorry, I have a small picture here. I'm trying to check it out. Wow,
Yeah.
that is an excellent studio. Very nice.
Yeah,
Nicely,
man.
everything's mounted. Beautiful. I got a real crap hole here, but it does the work.
Yeah, man.
I like the clubhouse feeling. I do. I like the
Oh,
clubhouse
hell yeah.
feeling.
Yeah, so do we.
Yeah, we've just kind of slowly put this thing together one little bit at a time with one free piece of hardware at a time,
Yeah.
basically, you know.
There you go.
There you go. Now you
Well, anyway, what I was going to say is before we got disconnected, we were talking about what it feels like to have an audience.
Yeah,
It just
yeah.
it feels to me it feels the same as having friends. You know,
Sure.
I've always
Absolutely.
endeavored to be myself when I'm doing something, because frankly, being somebody else is too much work.
Yep.
And you have to learn your part. Like as Matt will tell you, he tried to get me to do. You know, I'm not a big sports fan. You know, I grew up in Brooklyn, New York. We played stickball. We liked baseball. We didn't have homecoming queens and stuff like that. You know, we
Yeah.
just didn't. Football wasn't a big part of the scene. You know, basketball. You know, I wasn't one of the tall kids, so I didn't play that. But you know, I don't know a lot about sports. Matt stuck me in a situation once where I had to do freaking play-by-play. Do you
Oh,
remember
my
that
God,
disaster?
I forgot about that.
You remember
what?
that disaster?
So, oh my God. So our station had an obligation to all these local recreational athletic clubs
Right.
to do Little League. So they're like, "Can you guys do Little League?" They gave us like this little like.
Oh, that's terrible.
They gave us
Yeah.
this like little Comrex like phone thing, dude. It was prehistoric.
Well, you know,
So
that's
I
not
said to
so
Louie,
bad.
I said, Louie, you have to do this with me, man.
You're doing a tie line.
And you're like, well, I don't. He's like, I really don't know like how to do it. I'm like, let's just broadcast. Dude.
Yeah,
let's
just do it. Yeah.
Well, Matt, can I just back you up a second?
Yeah.
That Little League thing that they did, that was my idea, bastardized.
No shit.
My idea was to do bar league softball games.
Right?
And they did little.
That
bit.
was my
yeah.
idea.
What a that's a much better idea if you ask
Don't you
me.
think that that's a great thing for local radio to
Fuck
do?
yeah.
Bar league
Absolutely.
softball games?
Fuck
Hell yeah.
Because Sonny, the sod buster that goes to McKee's Pub is going to be there, and so all his buddies are going to listen to him.
Yeah.
Because you're going to have them on the pregame.
Well, and on
Yes.
top of that,
You have
can
all these
sell
drunk guys on the
bars.
pregame. That's awesome.
Yeah, you can sell
So
bars,
anyway, I
you
got
can
stuck
sell
doing that.
beer.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and people love hearing their name on the radio. So if like if
Oh,
this
yeah.
guy's walking up to bat and you're like, this is Johnny Smith and he loves Miller Lite and he's batting right.
Right,
back
right,
and
right.
forth.
But we didn't have any. They didn't really give us any of that information. That was the problem I had.
So
That's
what,
what you should have just
we're
made up.
supposed to-
Whoa.
Where's the list of names? I just got a partial list here.
Yeah. So what?
It's like, what the hell?
So
Yeah,
what they,
and then
so
you
what
know,
they
so
did-
I would say, but I didn't know what I was talking about. I was like, look at the way that kid is holding that bat in his hand. And I would say he has all the determination. If he could take that kind of determination into his adult life, imagine being on a job and having that
He
kind
did.
of concept.
He said this.
That's all I could do.
So basically, him and I would take turns, like each inning. I'd be
Yeah.
like, "All right, this is Anderson. He's 5'2", and you know, Louie, what do you think about his?" And he'd be like, "Well, you know, he's a good-looking kid. He looks like he's gonna." We did this for I don't know.
I
2
noticed.
hours.
I don't know. I noticed the other kids have long sleeve shirts under their uniform, and he's got a T-shirt. Matt, what? Explain that to me. Why?
Right,
Well,
Matt's
Lou,
your
I guess
color
he was-
guy.
And we were just going back and forth. But
Wait, who was the color
but-
guy?
Right, I want to know.
here's the funny thing.
And then every once in a while, I would say that, well, it's happened. There's a sign of the end times, and that I'm doing a play-by-play.
Well,
I said, that's not even how you say it. I'm doing a play-by-play. That's not even how you say it.
Yeah.
I can't even say what I'm doing. I'm so bad at it.
I'm on the Twitter.
Hey, Louie, do you remember when, like, after we were done, Paul Beaudry showed up, and this dude was, like, conservative talk, like, he was a conservative talk host.
Yeah.
So Paul's like, he agreed to do it after Louie and I were done, and so he would get
He
on.
took it serious. He took it totally
serious as shit.
seriously.
So what he didn't understand was, he did the entire broadcast over the PA system where, like, the kids could hear it, like,
Right.
so it was very distracting. So
What
he's
a
like,
gift.
and he was hard on him too. He's like, little Johnny's up the bat. Oh, he struck out again, folks.
Oh, no.
He struck, and the kid would like walk. He would walk back to the dugout, just head down,
Yeah, crying.
totally distraught.
Oh, man.
Paul just
Oh,
demoralized.
is Johnny gonna get it tonight?
You're right.
Oh.
And I'm just sitting there laughing. I'm like, oh my God, Paul is like destroying these kids.
We had an interview with little Johnny's mother. Well, he was really hard on the beaver last night.
And I told Paul, I was like, you're not supposed to do this over the
Well,
PA,
one ti-
man. Just announce the name.
What a deal, man.
That's
Well, one
terrible.
time,
He didn't care.
my buddy Jim and I were booked to do a remote broadcast from a health fair, a psychic fair, and a health fair. So you can imagine them. It was all moonbeams, you know, like shiatsu
on
massage.
Moonbeams?
Yeah. No, we just had to interview all the exhibitors there and all that. So, but the salesman that booked it didn't know we had a Yankee game on that day. So,
Oh.
and we were a little station, and this is a $400 broadcast. We need the money, so we did the whole thing. We weren't even unplugged in. We were just had like microphones walking around.
Dude.
Show must go on.
Wow,
I
how
did,
about
and
that?
then I did get a bad conscience about it the
Yeah.
next day, and I said to the guy, "Look, you're putting on a craft fair next month. We'll do a free broadcast there, okay? To pay for the fact that we didn't really broadcast." And I said, he goes, but thanks for staying, and because none of the vendors all like being interviewed, so thanks. It's like, all right, well, whatever.
I had to do for that company. I had to do 2 remotes, and it was like 2 weeks apart at the same place, and it was for The Biggest Loser. And so these people will go in there, lose weight, whatever. I mean, they're all bigger people.
Oh, I
And-
thought you were legitimately calling somebody the
Oh.
biggest loser.
Do you remember
I
The
was
Biggest
like, oh
Loser?
my
That
God.
show,
I
The
do.
Biggest
Oh, yeah,
Loser. So
everybody,
I would
yeah.
have to do breaks on there, and I'd be like, and at the end, I'd be like,
What about if somebody doesn't lose weight too?
I'd be like, how do you feel about being the biggest loser? Like, I felt
Horrible saying that out loud.
horrible, but also, I don't know. I thought it was funny.
Yeah,
in a way,
absolutely.
But I felt bad because I was like,
You felt bad because you thought it was
you're
funny.
doing great. You lost 5 pounds, and now
Right.
you are the biggest loser.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah,
felt like calling
loser.
someone a loser
Just doesn't feel right.
doesn't feel right, especially when they're nice people.
Yeah.
Like if they're an asshole, then fuck it, I don't care.
Hell yeah.
But
Yeah, Biggest Loser was a big thing.
That was a
for a long
radio.
time.
That was a radio station promotion.
yeah, they're at
The
that
Biggest
shit show.
Wow, that's a big obligation too, man.
Yeah, it was
That's a scary one.
It was one of the local gyms. I forget what gym it was, but they were like super like anal about what I want, like what they needed me to say, like what the copy points were and all that.
Oh yeah,
And I nailed it, but like
They were so anal they were checking polyps.
Right.
they wanted sound checks and shit. I'm like, dude, I don't have that shit. There's no recordings of
They
this
want
back
sound
in the station.
checks.
Right.
No, that's not going to happen.
I would like proof of performance, please.
Yeah. Here's your performance.
Right. Here's the proof.
Yeah.
Looks so good on camera.
Hey, I got to tell you, it's hard selling advertising. It really is.
Yeah.
It is.
And if the people that are selling it do not give realistic expectations, it's really hard. And listen, you've known salespeople all your whole career. Those people get the shit browbeat out of them every day by the sales manager. And so they write stuff that I wouldn't write, you know. Do you ever do commercial for a place you know that you're just not going to help? I hate that.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah. I hated the one thing.
I hate that.
I hate the one thing in local radio where it was like when you're doing a remote and then the owner or like the general manager comes out and says, "Where's all the people at?" I'm like, well, for one, it's not my job to get the people here. My job is to get the message out.
Right.
Like, I'm not here to like make you famous or anything. Like, you paid for.
Hey, do you know how I got people to come to a slow remote like that once? It was at a video store back when they had them.
Damn.
I had a helium tank, right? So I said, "Bring your pool toys by, and I'll make them float." So people lined up with their pool toys, and then I went through 2 things of helium, and my general manager very quietly says to me, "So how did the remote go?" I said, "It was great. We had people lined up, and I used up 2 tanks of helium." He goes, "Hey, you know how much it cost? Like $800 each."
Right.
Oh man.
Shit.
By the way, it didn't work. The pool toys are too heavy.
They're too heavy.
For
I
the
was
helium.
just
It
going to
didn't
ask
work.
how that worked out. I was just sucking helium
It
out
did
of a
not
balloon
work.
for my kids last night.
But
They love it when I do that.
But people like it because they can go home and suck on their pool toys.
Exactly.
So
It's
it
fun,
worked out.
man.
Somebody had like one of those giant alligators.
Yeah. Fill that
Sucking the
bitch up.
asshole right out of the alligator.
Got
man.
myself this crocodile. I'm gonna go home,
Little
suck
do
it
you know, it costs like $100 just to fill up that little pool toy
The little crocodile.
with helium. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But hey, radio is a crazy
The
world.
moon has a lot. I hear the moon has a lot of helium on it. Anyway, listen, guys.
The
I'm
moon.
really starting to fade.
Right on, brother.
Okay, man.
I've never watched a show where the guest said that,
Well, let's take a break then.
Well, we have now.
but I'll stick around.
All right. Well, listen, we got trivia coming up for you.
All right, good, because I'm starting to say. That's why I'm saying. Let's get to the trivia, man.
Yeah, that's
All right,
good.
man.
All right.
We'll take a quick break. We'll be
All right,
right
we'll
back.
take a quick break and be back.
For the cool down.
I don't mean to be a dick about it.
Hey, it's okay.
It's all good, brother.
All good in the hood, bro.
No,
We'll be back.
no, it's
back.
pretty. I think it's funny to have a guest say I'm getting tired.
So this is the new Hurricane. Hoo-wee. Glad it's on our side, Hondo.
Tracker here. Assemble masks. Intruder closing in.
It's a venom stinger. Look out! Hurricane engaged.
Vehicles each sold separately, with a figure.
Firefly heading for the sky.
Mask, where illusion is the ultimate weapon.
I'm getting out of here.
Mask, Hurricane, Firefly, and Stinger, each sold separately. New from Kent.
Welcome back to the old 77. I wasn't sure if we were back there. It's a safe place.
In an unsafe world.
And we're back with Louie Manno. We're going to jump right into some trivia.
Straight to trivia, Louie.
So Louie has chosen 70s. We're going to go 70s. And we're going to do like pop culture / music.
And we're only going to do a stripped down version. We're going to give him what? 5, 10 questions? How many?
Oh,
you feeling
okay.
like?
No, that's okay. Now that we're back from a break, I feel refreshed. So
All
don't worry.
right. We'll go 10. You want to go 10 then?
We'll give you 10.
we'll go
10
10.
questions.
Okay. All right. Are you ready?
Are we ready?
I'm ready.
Question number 1.
Uh-huh.
See.
In his 1979 hit Escape, Rupert Holmes enjoys getting caught in the rain with which cocktail?
Pina Colada.
Good.
Oh, Cockatails.
Ding, 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 ding.
We got it?
Hold on one sec.
There we go.
All right, that is it.
There it is.
And wait, trivia question. Rupert Holmes is the guy that does all the music for Family Guy.
Oh, shit. I
Is
didn't
that
know
right?
that.
I didn't know that. Psh.
And Family
That
Guy
is
has
correct.
great music. Family Guy
Bonus
has
question for Louie.
for
Shit.
sure.
All
Yeah.
right. All right. So question number
About a
2.
third of the comedy comes from music. All right.
Absolutely. Okay, question number 2.
Yeah.
This is a softball. Which legendary British band released their final album in May 1970?
What would be the Beatles?
Yeah.
Right?
That's
Yes.
correct.
Beatles.
Bonus
Let it
po-
be.
Okay, I was going to give you bonus points for which
Damn.
album it was. But the interesting thing about that is, didn't they record Abbey Road after they recorded Let It Be, but they released them opposite, I believe?
I think so.
Yeah,
I think so because they weren't really the Beatles when they recorded Abbey Road, right?
Yeah.
They all worked separately in the studio, I believe.
Yeah, pretty much. All right, man, he's kicking ass
Dude,
so
he's
far.
whipping ass.
I do have one.
Question number 3.
Go for it.
Uh-huh.
Which Neil Diamond song became his first to reach #1 spot on the Billboard Hot 100 when he hit the top in October 1970? Neil Diamond, 1970, his top hit.
His top.
Okay.
This one's.
It would have to be Sweet Caroline.
Is that your final answer?
It is.
It's
Oh, I didn't
actually
get that.
Cracklin' Rosie.
Cracklin' Rosie.
Ah, Cracklin' Rosie, you make me smart. That's about a bottle of wine. That song. Did you know that?
I did not.
I-
Well, there
I
you
was
go.
a
That's
DJ
bonus.
back
Look,
then. I
knock
know
him
all
up-
that
knock him up
stuff.
for a makeup point.
Gee
Bonus
whiz,
points, man.
man.
He's killing it on the bonus
killing it on
points
the
tonight.
bonus.
Jesus.
Hey,
Okay.
well, I was a DJ back then. That's all the stuff we.
I feel you, brother. I know.
Honestly, was
exactly.
Neil Diamond, what category did he fall into?
Here's a trivia question.
I mean, I would put Neil Diamond into like the
country?
No. I feel like Neil Diamond is more of like a crooner.
Yeah, he
Almost-
is.
Yeah,
He's
like
a
almost more of like a Sinatra
pop
type.
standards, you would
Like a
call
pop
it.
standard.
Yeah,
guy.
yeah.
Hey, everybody, I'm Neil Diamond. He had that awesome
Yeah.
hair going on.
He
He
did.
still has that awesome.
And he had an
hair.
awesome
He had
voice.
sort of long hair.
Had
He
nice,
was more like a
Brian-
venue guy, though. He didn't have a TV show in the 70s or anything, did he? No,
Yeah.
I don't think so.
No.
But he had
He
that
was like a
rhinestone jackets and shit.
Right.
Oh yeah, he was pimped.
He was
man.
looking good.
Okay, here we go.
Question number
Recently,
4.
he had a concert. All right.
Okay, here we go. Which Irish rock band sang "The Boys Are Back in Town"?
Thin Lizzy.
Bingo. Good
Oh,
job.
that was very good.
Good job.
Excellent.
With confidence.
Excelente.
Maddie,
All
you
right.
got one? You
yeah,
want me to-
I have one.
you
Yeah.
got- Okay.
Play the Bon Jovi because we're halfway there. This is question number 5.
Which rock band's plane crashed on October 20th, 1977, killing several members of the group?
Wow.
I'll give you multiple choice. How about
I
that?
know this one. Well, he can afford to miss up to 3
Okay.
because he's got 3 bonus
Okay.
points already.
It's the Turtles, Leonard Skinner, Bon Jovi, or the Doors.
I would say Leonard Skinner.
That is correct.
Good job, sir.
Freebird,
Wow.
baby, Freebird.
And then I'm gonna
Play
go.
some Freebird.
Then I'm gonna go flying through the free.
All right.
I was
question-
into disco at the time, so.
Oh, you were that guy, huh?
Yeah,
Well,
disco's not
you
for
know,
me.
Disco.
there was
Not for me.
there were a lot more chicks in that scene.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
Oh, I
probably
could-
more tail.
Oh, I can
That's
picture
true.
like young Louie Manno walking into the disco club and like
With some bell bottoms.
Louis, how wide was
What?
the zucchini
Like
that you
pulling
shoved
out-
in your pants?
looking like a banana in a hammock.
Just
You don't-
just come up grinding on chicks. Yeah, I
Uh,
got fruit in my pants.
I will
baby.
tell you that. I'll tell you some stories about Quaaludes one of these days. Anyway,
Oh, hell yeah.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
please.
We missed those days.
Hey, did you ever visit Studio 54, bro?
never went there, but I went to like the poor man's Studio 54, a place called Wednesdays.
Wednesdays.
Oh,
I
it's
love
But
you.
I love you, man.
I used to like to go to these bars in Long Island. You know, I got to take my gum out of my mouth.
Hey,
I should be a guest on the show.
Man, you need coke, you need weed, you need Quaalude.
Studio 26, man.
You need some coke, man.
Oh man, it was yes. I made it. I'm glad I made it out of there. Glad I made it out of there.
Are we on 5?
We are on question 6, boys.
Question
Hopefully someday they have a documentary about Wednesdays. And
Right.
You're like one of the testimonials.
Live from
Well,
Wednesday.
I'll tell you one quick. I was dating my wife and I took her there, and the next day she didn't remember we were there.
Oh, well, there you go.
Okay, so I have a beautiful segue because we were talking
the
about
kind of place.
disco. So here comes a disco question.
Yeah, right.
Name the song, Louie. Well, you can tell by the way I use my walk. I'm a woman's man. No time to talk.
That would be staying alive, staying
You got
alive.
it. Did we give him bonus points for the No,
He's
okay.
got bonus.
He's got it.
Yeah, he's doing good on the bonus
Question
points.
number 7.
Oh.
You got this one, Maddie? You want me to get it?
I do. It's a question that has to do with 1978. I was 1 year old at the time. Scott was too.
Good
Depends
times.
on when it was. In
Depends on when, yeah.
I remember it well.
In 1978, who sang "Can't Smile Without You"?
Oh God, I know this one too.
Who
I don't know
sang
that one, I don't
Can't
think.
smile without you.
Barry Manilow.
That is correct.
I had it. I was forced to see him in concert once. So
Oh, you
yeah.
poor bastard.
Poor bastard.
So where did you see him, in New York, or was it like a Vermont?
I saw him
show?
at I saw him where they play tennis in Flushing. There's an arena there, and some girl I was dating's father won her tickets on the radio.
No shit.
What
Yeah.
What was that concert like? A Barry Manilow concert? I mean,
awful.
He had it was like a stripped down version of his big show, I guess. But when he did the Copacabana, they did bring out like dancers and stuff.
The
Rockettes
Copacabana.
and stuff. Yeah, and it was like, all his songs, and then he didn't have many hits at the time. Then he did a lot of cover songs. And then he used to write commercial jingles. So he did a bunch of commercial jingles,
Damn,
which
good
was
for
my
him,
favorite
man.
part.
How can you
Yeah,
not
he
know
wrote,
by Copacabana?
You got a lot. Do you know what he wrote? You got a lot to live.
Really?
And McDonald's has a lot to give. Oh, Pepsi has a lot to give. No, he did that one, yes.
Interesting.
How
Yes.
can you not know that guy and Liberace and all those other flamboyant, over-the-top performers weren't gay back in the day?
Yeah. Well, people.
I think everybody knew they were gay, but,
he was a very pretty
people
man.
didn't really want to, it wasn't, people didn't really talk about it. Everybody had an uncle that wasn't married and stuff.
Yeah, right.
And he wanted to.
Everybody acted like, people, acted like themselves.
Sit on my lap, kid.
Right.
And then like flamboyant, like, yes, it was very funny in the 70s. Like Paul Lynde, I don't know if any of you know who he is. He was
You know who Paul Lynde is, Scott?
You guys.
Oh
Hey,
my God.
I love
yes,
Paul
he
Lynde.
was I think you can't really say it now, but
I think I know you're
it was
talking
like a
about.
sissy boy routine,
Yeah.
I guess you would call it.
He was the center square on Hollywood
was-
Squares. And he would always tell the nastiest jokes.
Oh, you betcha. Like, I'll got
You
one.
remind me of
Paul, is it true that they have invented a miniature species of pig? Yes. I heard they can kick them a mile. Yes, that was like a Paul Lynde style joke.
Paul
Okay.
Lynde was amazing. If you haven't seen it, you should watch the Paul Lynde Halloween special.
That is a good one.
It's
I
fantastic.
remember that.
I've got some Paul Lynde pulled up.
So
in queue,
anyway, guys,
ready to rock. Yeah.
we're back to question number 8.
Question number 8. All right, here we go. Are you a Zeppelin fan, Louie?
No, not again. Disco.
Disco? Okay, well then
he's-
I'm not going to throw it.
He's a disco guy.
Get ask it.
No,
I've lived in the world and I picked up much through osmosis.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'm going to skip Zeppelin. I'm going to go.
Okay.
One peak's enough to rot
Oh,
your
here's
teeth.
Paul Lynde.
Oh, Paul Lynde.
I always give a prize for the funniest costume. Last year I said that the prize goes to the first one that rings my bell. It was my Avon lady.
Yeah, that dude is straight up.
Oh, he is straight up gay.
And he knew
he's
it.
happy about
And
it. man.
everybody else knew it.
Oh,
He was
yeah.
ahead of his time.
And everybody was happy with it.
Yeah.
Did he get through the AIDS?
Oops,
Yeah,
sorry.
he totally
Sorry
got.
about
Yeah,
that.
I think he came through unscathed.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was making sure.
Okay, I'm going to skip the Zeppelin question.
Okay, skip it. Question 8.
The
Okay.
AIDS.
Okay.
I know. Yeah, he made it through the HIV.
Is Casey and the Sunshine Band, that's considered disco, right?
Ask it. Just
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Okay, so what is the real name of Casey from Casey and the Sunshine Band?
Ooh. Ooh.
See, I probably don't know this. I'm going to take a guess, and if I did know it, I wouldn't want to talk to me anymore after me knowing it. So I'm going to say like Carl Sanborn. I don't know. I've just made it up.
Correct.
Carl Sanborn.
The correct answer was Harry Wayne Casey.
That sounds like a serial killer.
Okay.
Well, yeah, they all have 3 names, right?
Jesus.
He had to have been a serial killer if he had 3 names.
He could disappear easily.
How many more do we have?
Hey, he's still.
9.
Oh.
You know what? God bless him. He's still touring. I don't know how you make a living off of it, how you tour with 3 songs, but God bless him.
Yeah.
He's doing it,
It can be done.
At least his job's easy every night.
The penultimate question.
Yeah.
Penultimate question. Question 9.
Just quickly, I know I go off into a side. I once interviewed the guy C.W. McCall, the guy that did Convoy.
Convoy.
Right, that guy. So he said, I said, well, what are you doing lately? He goes, I'm touring. I was like, well, how the hell do you tour? I mean, you do the one song. He goes, yeah, it's like I come out and I introduce other smaller acts. And then at the end, I do the song, and that's it.
Nice. It makes for an easy night.
And it's a spoken piece.
It's like when Bart was the I didn't do it kid.
Right.
Nobody
He built a whole show around.
They can't prove anything.
I didn't do it, and that's the whole thing.
All right, Maddie, you got the penultimate question?
Question 9.
Yes.
Here we go.
All right. Sorry. I would get kicked off most game shows for that. I'm sorry.
Oh, no.
No
We
worries.
give no fucks about that.
Okay, so
0.
question number 9. Which 2 pop stars duetted on Ebony and Ivory, which became a #1 hit in 1982?
That would be Stevie Wonder and Paul McCartney.
Oh.
That is incorrect.
Oh.
It is.
Oh, it was Michael Jackson and Paul McCartney.
Yeah, he got it.
Yeah, you got it.
He got it.
It was one of those guys.
I knew what you were
No,
thinking.
no. No, he did do a song with Stevie Wonder.
Yes.
Didn't he?
Yes.
The Girl Is Mine. Was that with Stevie
The
Wonder?
Girl Is Mine. That was Michael and Paul.
That was Michael and Paul.
Yeah, The Girl Is Mine. Yeah. I knew what you were thinking.
Ebony and Ivory.
Yep.
Ebony and Ivory.
They did a couple. I think they did an
Hey,
album.
you know what? I don't really hate myself for not knowing that. Continue.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey, Paul. It's
Okay. So
hey,
here we
let me
go.
sleep with your wife.
Hey there. Hey, I'd like to buy the Beatles, please.
And that's exactly what the
Excuse
fuck he
me.
did too, man.
All the kids listen to this.
He bought Elephant Man Skeleton.
Yeah. He bought weird shit
What a
like
weirdo.
that.
He also touched kids.
Made them spread their cheeks.
I bet they
Okay.
touch tips, wiener to wiener.
Question
The monkey
number
wasn't
10.
good enough, right? The monkey
Hey, man,
wasn't good enough.
Bubbles can only go so far.
There are certain lines that Bubbles won't cross.
Right? When Bubbles can't look me in the eye, it's time
Where
to
is
move
the
on.
monkey? Where is that monkey? Monkeys live a long time. I would love to know where that monkey is.
He's
The
probably
monkey is
traumatized.
so traumatized. Just in therapy right now.
So you just got done touching the elephant's trunk? Why don't you touch my trunk?
It's like signing, Michael touched me, bad monkey, bad monkey. All right, fellas.
All right.
Question 10, and we can let our guest go.
Okay. Question
All
number
right.
10. I think this qualifies as disco again. Here we go.
Disco.
Which member of the Electric Light Orchestra, also known as ELO,
Yeah, good band.
left to form the band Wizard in July of 1972?
Wizard. That would be Jeff Lynne.
No.
That's the only name I could think of.
It was Roy Wood.
From ELO.
It was Roy Wood.
Who was it?
Roy Wood.
Yeah, he was throwing that wood around.
Yep.
Yeah.
I didn't know that one either.
Well, he was pissed off because they didn't let him in the traveling wheelbarrows.
Maybe that's what it was.
Right.
He's like, fuck you, I'm starting my own thing.
Talk about a
I'm
super
Roy
group.
Wood, bitches.
Did Roy Wood really want to be in the Traveling Wilburys?
Yes.
He did? I didn't know
Yes, that was an excellent group. I mean, I don't
Yeah,
really
they
know
were,
that much
yeah.
about music. But all those guys, come on, that was
yeah.
closest thing to the Beatles.
Yeah, it was an all-star group.
You were
man.
with a Beatle.
Let's see. It was
And Roy Orbison.
Yeah, I was going to say
for
Roy
crying out
Orbison.
loud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty woman.
All right, so our final tally is we had 5, 6, 7 to 3. But
That's not bad.
but
That's
with-
respectable.
We also had 3 bonus questions, so technically you got them all right.
You did perfect.
You got a perfect
Good
score.
job, Louie. Like a champ.
All right.
Damn, so like a
So,
champ.
what do I get? A free oil change in Missouri? What do I get?
You get a lifetime supply of rice-a-roni.
Hold
I
on.
can give you a box in the mail.
Hold on, Louie. I'm going to call some radio stations and find out what the current promos are, and then I'll tell you what your
Right.
present is. And I'll give
Listen,
you a number
I
to call
will
to
be-
claim it.
I'd be happy to record one for your show.
Oh, well, thank you.
Absolutely,
We would love
man.
that.
Yeah. Hey, Louie,
Welcome
give
to
us
the
some
old
information.
71.
Drop some information.
Yeah,
real
send me a
quick
script.
on-
I'll do it free. But
Absolutely.
you have to plug me like
Before
once a
you-
month.
of
You have
course
to
we
give
will.
me a plug.
Dude, we'll plug you every show.
Yeah,
So
we'll plug you once
listen,
a week.
before you go,
No, I don't want to be plugged on every show. Come on, fellas. This is your thing. I'm just a guest.
before
Listen,
you,
I want to say that I really like the vibe on this show. I really like you guys.
thanks, man.
I think
Thank you, brother.
you guys are going to go far. I hope that they find a radio station to broadcast this on. Of course, we will have to watch the language. No, you guys have a nice flow. I love the stuff you talk about. And it's exactly what we need right now, where everybody is so damn serious. So it's good to see.
Dude, that feels really good
Absolutely,
coming
man.
from somebody like you that's actually done some things.
Yes. Thank you, brother.
Yeah.
Hey,
we
Louie,
appreciate that.
before you go, man, I'm sorry I've been trying to get this out for the last 2 minutes, but drop us some information on what you're doing and give us some websites and maybe
All right,
potential client can go to it.
Okay. If you can hire me for general voice work through Voice 123, or you can contact me directly on Facebook, Louie, LOUIE MANNO, and love to make friends with people all around the world. And I'm on YouTube, Louie Manno channel, and also on SoundCloud. And if you Google my name, there's other stuff of mine out there on the internet.
Cool.
But look for my movie, Lunch and Meat, is out there. I recommend you see that. It's on YouTube. And some of my character voice work as well is out there.
Cool.
Fucking
Excellent,
awesome,
brother.
man.
Thank you, man.
I saw the movie and I was like, oh, cow. Oh, we're talking to this guy? Yes, he's got an IMDb
You
page.
saw Lunch and Meat?
I
You
haven't
sat
seen
through
it.
Lunch and Meat?
No, but I'm gonna now.
Oh, okay, good.
Louie, next time you come on, we're going to talk about your, what was it, 5 days or 4 days in the wild
Yeah, man.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
by himself.
Yeah, we're
My
just getting
vision
started
quest.
on the stories.
He
man.
did a
Right.
he did a Bear Grylls, man.
Really?
Hey, did you eat any bugs on that escapade?
No, but I did hold up I held up a slug on a stick, and I said, "You're not too far away from a clan. I might see you in a day or two." I was more worried about water at the time.
Dehydration.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Yeah.
I didn't really care about food much. But as soon as I found a mud hole to drink out of, I was thinking food again. But yes, that's a very long story. Next show, fellas.
Next show.
Love being on. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Good.
thank you,
Keep
brother.
it up. Good
Thank you,
stuff
man.
like this out there.
Thank you, Louie. We appreciate
Up
it,
and
man.
out.
Absolutely,
Absolutely,
brother.
man.
Hey, we also need to thank our friends, the Jeff City Paranormal Society. They are our $5 Patreon sponsor here at the Old 77.
Thank you, guys.
Oh,
Thank
yes,
you,
for
guys.
sure.
Can't wait to have you back on. They're cooking
Thank
up some
you.
good shit right
Oh,
now.
have they got a show coming up, man? I swear. It is going to be a good one.
Yes.
Also, thank you to Hickman's Automotive, my buddy Bryce Hickman.
That's right, man.
If you need auto work done, man, he's out there on Marine Drive.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, that sounds right.
I think it's
Yeah.
Marine Drive. But check him out. He's everywhere, Facebook, website. Also, Last Flight Brewing Company. You guys know we always
man.
talk about
Yes,
our
we
friends
do.
there.
No.
West
Come
Main,
on.
60
West Main
store.
Pizza, 60
Check out our
Spirit.
friends at In the Groove.
In the Grove.
In the Groove, man.
Hey, man. Hey, why don't we come back and do a little...
Sure.
I was going to say,
absolutely.
yeah,
I mean, we
absolutely.
got
We can
time.
totally
Yeah,
do that.
we'll do some
Tons of
reflecting.
time,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Yeah.
So.
All right, so it's a 4-parter this time. 4 parts.
Bonus.
Boom.
Huh?
Be back after this, bitches.
Sluts.
Felt so nice saying that.
Come on. 70s bushes.
Your memories. Pregnancy, kids growing up, family, senior year of high school, getting engaged. You want to keep those moments forever. But the problem with most photographers is they decide which moments you keep. They'll sell you a single picture or a big all-inclusive package that might include photos you don't want at a cost that's outside of your budget. That's why I don't. You decide. A single photo, a single hour, you choose. You get all of your edited photos, everything, at Andrew Marie Photography. You get quality photos at prices you can afford. After all, they're your memories. Find us on Facebook, Andrew Marie Photography and Custom Design.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the old 77. It is the cool down.
It is the safest place.
Still a very unsafe world.
The entire world.
In a world.
Oh man, Louie was great, wasn't
It's
he?
unsafe. Oh man, absolutely.
Yeah.
Louie, thank you again for
He's an hour ahead of us, so
coming on and
Yeah, thanks for staying up late for us, dude.
man, I know you're a busy guy with all your voice work.
I've been checking out some of Louie's old voice work on his YouTube channel.
Yeah, we were just watching some of
There's some goodies on
Isn't
there,
he
man.
a talented dude though? I mean, he does
Heck
all
yeah.
kinds of he's a very multi-dimensional voice.
You know what I was thinking the whole time when he was talking about all the crazy shit that they used to do to get attention at the radio station? I was thinking that, like, basically, like, Louie was, 40 years ahead of his time, because that's the type of shit that people now are doing on social media.
Yeah, they're trying.
To try and get followers. Their people are just doing the most outlandish shit. Well, Louie was doing that, 40 years before it was a cool thing to do. I
And
just
on the
just
radio,
thought that
it's
was
like-
cool.
Yeah. But
it
he was limited by the technology of his time.
Well, and the fact that he can't say fuck on the air, too.
Exactly. Yeah.
But what was really cool is in his
You don't need that though.
in his day,
not if you're funny.
In his day, the radio star was still alive.
Right.
Absolutely.
Like radio guys got Mad Bush.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, yeah.
You know?
Did they get mad money back in those days?
Well,
like,
and it was the
relatively
70s.
speaking.
No.
Adjusted
No.
for inflation, did they
No.
get mad money?
No, it was the same as it is today.
Okay.
They got nothing.
Which is
Yeah.
not
They
not
were
mad money.
scraping by.
Yeah.
Right.
They were going broke for the privilege of.
Even like the bigger ones,
Oh yeah.
like your Casey Kasem's.
Casey Casey
Probably
made
not
his
Casey,
Casey made his money not from radio but from voiceover.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he did a lot of that.
Because he did. So Casey made an excellent deal.
He was on Scooby Doo, right?
Right. He was the original voice of Shaggy.
Yeah.
And in his original contract, Casey had written in that he had exclusive rights to that character for life, basically. So, like, when Casey Kasem was like 70 years old, he was voicing Shaggy.
Yeah.
For some of the new stuff on Cartoon Network.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's a hell of a deal. You'd never see it today.
That's the thing, man, is you got to be, when you're in a creative industry, you have to be creative with your contracts.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is, like,
Yes.
most of us creative type people are not necessarily good at things like money and contracts and budgets and accounting and shit like that. So that's
Right.
why so many of those creative types get taken advantage of.
Yeah.
Absolutely, man.
You hear about music superstars like Rihanna, her agent or her accountant, whatever, was ripping her off.
Well,
you know?
what was what's her name? The gal that sings songs with the one dude, and I'm totally butchering this. And she was under some kind of house arrest thing. Basically, she couldn't record.
Mm-hmm.
You know who I'm talking about?
No, I can't
El
think of it.
Grande or something?
No, she's a really manly sounding woman.
What's that Taco
Are
Bell?
you trying to think of Ariana Grande?
That's
Is
what I was
that
trying
what
to
that
say,
was?
yeah.
Taco Bell Grande?
Wait, isn't that what I order when I go to Starbucks? Wait, no, I'll have a venti. I'll have an Ariana venti.
I'm really bad at like
That's what I should do next
current
time.
like pop star names and
Yeah,
stuff.
I don't,
Yeah,
I
well,
don't
that's because they all
remember them.
suck now.
I'm terrible.
I
at
don't
it,
remember them, and
They
I'm,
all
I'm
suck
terrible
now.
with it.
Oh,
But
so-
there was an artist who was limited
Yeah.
by her producer, and I think Taylor Swift just recently had this problem
Yeah,
with the same dude.
Scooter Braun.
Yeah.
Scooter Braun, that was it.
Mhm.
Who was the other chick then that Scooter ended up screwing
That
up?
he ripped off.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll Google it. But yeah, Taylor, man, like
she re-recorded her entire library.
Yeah. Do you know some radio guy, some DJ guy, like touched her ass at a concert, like a meet and greet thing?
Wait, he touched
Yeah, he
somebody's
was like
ass?
the program director of a radio station, so he
Mhm.
like grabbed her ass, and so she like took him to court and all that. I forget what happened, like the outcome, but it happened. Like
Yeah.
if you Google it, it'll show you the details.
Well,
of
dude,
what happened.
everything that I've read or heard about Scooter Braun, he seems like a complete piece
Yeah.
of shit human
Right.
being.
Yeah.
Because we were talking about Taylor Swift, like because he won't let go of her original catalog, she's going through and re-recording
Right.
all of it.
Yeah.
Is it
Which
still the same? Like, how do they do that? Do they no longer do you no longer sell his and you just sell hers?
great
or-
question, man.
I'm not
Great
sure.
question. I don't know. I mean, are there any other
I'm not
artists
sure
that
how it
have had to
works.
do that
Is
before
he-
her?
I don't know. I'm sure tons of them have wanted.
Yeah.
You know, to get out of a deal or something.
Yeah.
Well, I'll just re-record.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a great question, man. It's a question that I should probably know the answer
Right.
to.
Especially being a musician yourself.
But props to Taylor for, owning her own shit.
That's
I mean,
true.
she should own her own shit, especially if she writes the songs.
Right.
She's good, man. She's good.
She's not my cup of tea, but
she's not mine either.
I'm not gonna
But
blast
her
some
songs
Taylor
are
Swift
catchy.
in
Kesha.
Kesha.
Oh,
Oh,
Kesha's
Scooter
the
Braun
chick.
ripped
Yeah.
her off.
I don't know if it was Scooter Braun, but some dude ripped her off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, who was the pop star back in the '90s who like burnt down Andre Rises? And
Oh, that was Lisa Left Eye Lopez.
Yeah, that was
from
Left
TLC.
Eye.
she had like the
TLC.
Band-Aid under her.
Yeah,
what
'cause
what
she
was
had
the
a-
deal with the Band-Aid? What was that about?
So that was back in the day when TLC first showed up. They were like promoting safe sex. So
Condoms
they had,
and stuff.
They had condoms and shit hanging all over.
Were they the Don't Go Chasing Waterfalls?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Do you know why Lisa Left Eye was called Lisa Left Eye?
No.
Because
Didn't
like
she take splooge to the eye?
could be, but no, like
was just thinking.
she was
I
at
was
a.
just thinking that.
Of course you were. Of course you were. You sick fuck.
Scott's my spirit animal.
Yeah, I know.
man.
I noticed. No.
Scott's my spirit animal.
Shit. No. What was I talking about?
She took a
Oh,
shot
Left
to
Eye.
the eye.
No, she.
Gotta watch that, man.
Apparently,
Duck and weave.
apparently, like when they were kids, some dude like at the mall approached her and told her that she was sexy because of her left eye. Like her left eye made her sexy, and so that was how she got.
So
the
she wanted to
nickname
underline
Left Eye.
that thing.
Yeah,
Like,
man,
hey,
that
check
was- that
out
was-
my sexy
check out my
bitch.
left eye.
Yeah.
And you know what?
Don't go.
There are certain
waterfalls.
chicks that have a sexy left eye.
Yeah.
I can account for that. There are certain women. You look at their left eye and you see a little twinkle in there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No.
Okay.
Fucking prick.
Oh, now that was funny.
Fucking prick.
Hey, once is enough over there, fucker. Once is enough.
Oh,
So
man.
don't go chasing waterfalls.
Yeah.
I heard that song is about AIDS.
It is about
It
AIDS.
is about AIDS.
Get it? See, there you go.
Yeah, man. I used to be able to recite all of
He's
Lisa
a
Left
creep.
Eye's verse on that song. But yeah, like
Don't
there,
get AIDS chasing.
there's a
down
line
low.
in there about like three letters took him to his final resting place.
Yes.
Which it should be 4 letters because
Yeah,
it's AIDS.
AIDS.
But or no, maybe she does say 4.
HIV.
Oh, there you go.
Is that what it is? Or,
HIV.
now I'm questioning. Does she say 3 letters or 4 letters?
Ooh, I don't
now I
know.
can't remember. But yeah, anywho, yeah, that's what it's about.
Yeah, she burnt down that dude's house.
Yeah.
That's some serious
Lisa done
fucking.
burned up the dude's house.
Did you ever watch that Dave Chappelle skit when keeping it wrong goes real, or keeping it real goes wrong?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's a.
Lisa learned when keeping it real goes wrong.
cheating on me. Fuck you.
Right.
I'm gonna burn down your house.
She had a choice. She could burn the house down or she could go outside.
Hey, great segue, man.
Lisa chose to keep it real.
But think about
Speaking,
it, man,
no,
like-
hold on, I'm doing a segue over here. Dude.
Sorry, my bad.
Speaking of
burning the
shit
house down,
yeah.
did you guys hear about this lady at the Moser's grocery store in Fulton, Missouri?
I did not. But I
Please
see her
enlighten us
picture,
about
and
this
she
lady.
looks like
She has been accused of starting a fire in the store that she worked in.
Wow.
Sounds to me like she didn't want to work overtime. What do you guys
It
think?
sounds to me like somebody who really worked retail.
She
I
must have
can't-
just grabbed
too
the lighter
long.
fluid, right? The
I
lighter
can't
fluid.
remember how many times I wanted to burn the place I worked down at.
She
Well,
was
she actually did it.
She's my hero.
She was arrested for arson first degree and taken to the Callaway County Jail without bond.
Is that a misdemeanor?
No, she's
that's a
without
felony,
bond. That's
bro.
Class X,
Yeah,
man.
that's a
shit.
felony. Shit, when I worked in the prison, I had inmates that were arsonists.
Yeah?
Were they cool? Like, hey man, I set this on fire.
One of them was gay, but he was not open with
So hey, man.
So is he like, hey?
I knew.
I got a fire in my pants.
I knew he was gay.
For you,
And I
Dave.
think pretty much everybody else knew he was gay, but it wasn't confirmed
Yeah.
until he left. The
For you,
institution.
Dave.
Yeah.
Oh, that's terrible.
Can't remember the guy's
Sorry,
name,
Dave.
unfortunately, but
I missed you, Dave.
I
Got a
missed you
fire in
too,
my
man. I'm glad
pants,
you're
man.
back. I'm glad you don't have the black
Good to
shits
see-
anymore.
Hey, dude, it was bad.
Speaking of fire in your
Okay,
pants.
so for one,
Nice segue, bro.
Damn.
this is why we talked about that
Segue.
off the mic.
Hey.
You know,
Yeah, well, I'm sorry.
I don't want to disgust everyone out there.
No, that
no.
was.
No,
It was
no.
bad, dude.
It's okay.
I could not make it to the podcast, and you guys know that
Dude,
this is
I
like one
know.
of my
Yeah.
favorite times of the
If
week.
Maddie can't make it, Maddie's not feeling good,
So,
man.
Yeah,
So
it was a bad week.
we're glad that you're on the mend.
Andrew did a
dude.
fine job.
Yep.
Fuck yeah, she did,
Thank you,
man.
Andrea, for
She killed it
filling
on the
in.
billboards, that's for sure.
Yep.
She even hit the buttons a couple times.
But now,
Yeah, there you go.
Right. Thank you, Arnold.
Thank you, Arnold.
I'm the governor of the state.
I'm the guy.
But let's talk about bears real quick. 'Cause
Oh, more bears.
Last week you guys were talking about the bear invasion.
Yeah, the bear
That's what it's
invasion.
officially
So I was
called.
talking to my wife about it.
Bear
and
invasion 2020.
she was telling me like how
One.
like 3 or 4 years ago they were putting bears out there just just to populate it.
Just see what happens.
These bears had a giant orgy and now they're everywhere. They're going
Life
north.
finds a way.
Yeah.
Now we were talking off the mic and we were talking about how we have coyotes now in Jeff City. We have obviously an abundance of deer, but like so
And bear orgies now. That's
if
all
we
I'm
have
going to think
fucking
of.
if we
thing.
have coyotes, what stops a bear from living in a semi, suburb like type
People, I think.
neighborhood?
People, we
Yeah,
hope.
we
Now,
hope.
okay, so
But they're a little more courageous. The bears.
There
Like,
was
deer
a-
will run, but
If they're
bears
hungry
like
enough, though.
there was a follow-up
you
to
might
the
have a sandwich on them.
there was a follow-up to the thing in Ashland where they saw the bears. Did you guys know that they tried unsuccessfully to capture the bear?
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah.
So how did they do? How did they
I don't know.
attempt this?
I don't
Yeah.
know. I'm assuming they probably tried to, shoot it with a tranquilizer or
Got a
something.
dude riding
Guy's
horseback.
Guy's got a fucking BB gun. He's like, "Oh, get this motherfucker right here. Get you, bear. I'm
Some-
gonna get you."
Some guy with one tooth in the front of his mouth.
Right, right.
Hey man, bears' lives matter too. You fucking.
And he
prick.
shot it out
Yeah.
with that BB gun.
Absolutely.
I was heard.
Oh.
I heard that the bears are trying to rape white men.
The bears.
Is that correct?
I believe that checks out, Maddie.
Yes, yes.
I've got
I think
the Google.
that is correct.
I've got the
yes,
Google
yes.
here, and
Oh.
it's
According to the Google, that is correct. Yes, yes, yes.
that was me on the button.
The bears.
So
anyone about this, I'll fucking kill you.
So another thing that I'm super excited about right now is that J.J. Abrams is going to produce a docuseries for Showtime.
Well, I hope it's better than Star Wars.
Oh, come on, man! I thought he did good with Star Wars.
I thought he did okay.
Yeah, but no, he's doing
I
a
hope he
he's
plans
doing
it
a
out better.
Yeah, no doubt.
he's doing a UFO docuseries for Showtime, and the documentary promises quote shocking testimony.
Damn. Well, let's go make a U-turn.
And go back to J.J. Abrams.
Yeah. Well, what's going on with the J.J. Abrams thing? Is it?
Are
Are you looking for the plane hitting the fucking
Wait, hold on.
You're
no.
still looking for Plane Train?
Hold on.
plane train hit the smash?
Okay, I found a video of a plane on a train.
Nah.
Like a train transporting a plane. I don't think that counts though, man.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I know. I'm just having a little bit.
Well, we're
fun
talking
over it.
about J.J. Abrams and this alien. So he's going to have like military like testimonials of.
The show will also look at what clandestine influence the American government, lucrative private companies, and the military may have in shielding the truth behind extraterrestrial phenomena to further their own agendas, and examine the history of the phenomenon through cultural and political touchpoints, including shocking testimony from eyewitnesses across the country. Ultimately, the project promises to confront the most enigmatic questions of all. Why do we believe what we believe? And what is the elusive truth beyond this decades-long mystery?
What is the elusive truth?
Aliens, bro.
But I hope they don't hold back.
Maybe.
Because sometimes when you have a guy that's involved, like J.J. Abrams, he's a big studio guy.
Right.
And he can be controlled by certain people.
Could be.
I hope he'd help.
He has a vision, though.
But I hope he has everything that is exposed to him to use for the film. I hope he uses it. Because sometimes they leave shit out because, you know what? They can't. The public can't handle it.
Or cut it for time.
Oh, yeah. Just keep it in there. It's a fucking documentary. It doesn't matter how long it is.
I believe that I read that it's going to be like a four-part docuseries. So they got a lot of time to work with.
Damn, four-parter.
He's
That's
not
like
going to
Ken
hold
Burns'
back.
area, right?
I hope so, dude. I'm excited about it.
Yeah.
I hope it doesn't have too much like creativeness in it, and it's more info and straight to the point.
Yeah, instead of just like a bunch of reenactments and shit.
That's what worries me. Like, we're going to have all these reenactments. It's going to be so creative, and that's what you're going to focus on and not the story.
Yeah, that's what a lot of those shows end up.
Hopefully this
doing.
documentary does a lot for that kind of world. You know, the whole, UFO world.
Yeah.
Because they're still looking for, like, that one series that's going
Right.
to come out and just blow everyone away.
Yeah.
And get everyone on the same page.
Yeah.
Well, that's what we're talking about, lately, like with all these UFO drops. Like,
Mhm.
we're just waiting for that drop to hit.
Yeah.
But
we're not going to get it, from the government, unfortunately.
And if they're, this UFO or these beings, whatever
it is,
they're smart because they know that we are a very, very violent, civilization, dude.
Yeah, man.
We don't like anything. Like they had on their way here, they had time to basically study us.
Yeah.
Or, I'm talking out my ass. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Well, hopefully, if it took them a long time to get here, then they have limited resources.
But maybe they were. Maybe they're here the whole time. They're in these
I think
deep,
they were.
giant ocean abysses, dude. Like,
Here's what
hidden away from like
Dave, where are the aliens
sonar
from?
and stuff like that.
Do you know?
Here's where I am with it, guys. I definitely think that it's not humans. But the biggest question for me, because they've been here for a long time, these things have been happening for a long time, and they don't, they've had every opportunity to blow us all up, and they haven't. So the biggest question for me then is just why? Why are they here? What's the purpose?
Why do they keep shutting down our defenses?
Yeah, and dude, that's honestly like,
yeah,
that's like a big hope that I'm holding on to, because honestly, I'm afraid we're going to blow ourselves up within our lifetimes.
Was there a story about our defenses being shut
Oh,
down?
dude, it's well known in the military that these things show up at nuclear installations and shut them down.
They actually shut them down.
Yes, it's happened many times.
A couple of weeks ago, there was a story that came out where some general said that they have actively at like nuclear test sites and like silo sites where they're stored, like where in like Wyoming and
Utah,
Colorado,
and,
Utah, like they will fly over and like all their systems shut down.
Yeah,
they can't launch anything.
So they have some kind of device where it just power surges.
Stuff like that makes me wonder, like if that's kind of like a big brother, right, coming around going, whoa, what are you playing with here?
That's what I hope that it is.
Let's shut that down, because you could fuck things up for the rest of us.
Right.
It's the kindergarten rule of the
Right.
universe,
Yeah,
right?
don't do that.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
Not only is it going to screw things up for you, but it's going to screw things up for us too. So maybe not do that.
Yeah, I just posted a thing today. I thought that I had a thing, that there was a thing in there about the whole shutting down of nuclear stuff, but I guess it's a different article that I also read today. But yeah, they've been known to shut down our nukes.
Yeah.
And I have also heard that in other countries, they have done the same or the opposite. They've brought the nukes online.
Oh, I hadn't heard that one.
Yeah.
Argentina released a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
Here a while
did
back.
they?
Yeah.
It sounds to me that
I didn't know that.
Check that out.
Whoever they are, they're trying to. They use this planet as a resource. They use it for its energy, for its crop, for the meat. Like who knows, like what's being stolen as
For
far
the
as,
meat,
like,
I hope not for the meat.
like
for resources,
why not?
definitely.
Definitely
I mean,
resources.
Definitely
like,
resources.
And our planet is like,
So what do you
is so enriched with resources.
So do you
obviously.
think maybe that's what the ones that are submerging themselves in water are doing? Like maybe
think
maybe
so.
they're burrowed way the fuck down into the earth, and
I
they're
would say
just,
maybe those are like drones or something from a bigger, a bigger ship or a bigger something.
like a mothership.
Yeah.
But like,
I don't know, man.
there has to be like an explanation to why they live amongst us.
Yeah, man. I think it's been going on for a long time.
You have to keep an open mind.
I mean, it's at least been going on since the 1940s because we have documentation of it. But I believe, based on the evidence, it's been going on for hundreds and hundreds of years.
Well, I mean, really.
There's paintings in like
Yes,
caves and
with
shit.
You see shit like that before the 40s, before modern civilization, you're going to think it's God, right?
That's the thing, and that's like a big theory is like literally some people think that religions are based around not, actual angels, but beings that came from the sky.
Right.
And when you think about it, it kind of makes
The
sense.
Egyptians, like, there's
Something
all kinds
flying.
of there's all kinds of like eyewitnesses from the Egyptians, just from the writings on the walls and stuff like that. Like they have these people coming out of the sky.
Well, and then you look at Indian tales like you can say it, Bhagavad Gita.
The Bhagavad Gita.
There you go.
Yeah.
Which basically tells a 7 to 13 year long war that took place in the sky, and all the gods fought flying in chariots and wiped each other out.
Yeah, and
then the leader of the time ascended to heaven.
How about that?
Yeah,
So-
and is it the Bhagavad Gita that actually has like literally like a diagram of one of the flying machines?
Yeah, they have tons of diagrams.
So maybe it was like two different societies trying to fight over our planet.
So something like that could easily be that,
Right.
or it could be. I mean, a lot of people, say that it's aliens and stuff. But what if, just totally spitballing here, but what if there was a civilization that arose on this planet before us, right? And they were technologically advanced, but then their civilization died off.
That's exactly what I think
Maybe.
happened.
But there's still some of them around, maybe like the last of their kind, if you will, and
Maybe,
they can easily integrate with us.
I don't know. That's a theory.
That's
an
an interesting.
Yeah, but
take,
I do believe in that theory. That's the theory that Graham Hancock has really made
Yeah.
popular. The whole civilization's rise,
pre-civilization.
some sort of disaster happens, which we now know the asteroid strike thing about
Right.
roughly 12,000 years ago, and that's been documented in Egypt and in Turkey at Göbekli Tepe.
Göbekli Tepe,
And the
yeah.
scary thing about it, as I have mentioned on this show before, is that not only does it reference the strike around 11,800 years ago, but it also references a future strike in around the year 2030. So
You're always going to have those, though, I think.
have a nice day. Well, the theory is that
Fuck you, Dave.
I know. The theory is that these things happen, in cycles, and when certain meteor streams pass through the Earth,
Right.
certain years they
Right.
are more active than others. And I'm pretty sure that they have actually, pinned it down to the asteroid strike that happened roughly 12,000 years ago. They believe it was from the Taurid meteor stream. So it's this certain meteor shower that happens once every year. But certain years, they're more active, so you're more likely to actually have collisions.
Interesting.
Yeah. So,
I had
prick.
He's sitting over there waiting the whole time.
yeah, I know. He's been over there curling his eyebrows, just
Very
waiting for the
interesting, you
fucking button.
fucking prick.
Damn.
Yeah, no, I hope it's not. I hope
we
that's
all
not
hope
what's
it's
gonna
not.
happen. But here's the good
So
news.
we have kids.
Here's
We
the
don't
good
want our
news.
kids to not.
Here's
But you
the
know
good
what?
news.
Eventually, that's going to happen.
But here's the good news. We literally have the ability to shoot those things out of the sky.
do.
I was
The
gonna say,
question is whether
yeah.
or not are we going to spend the money and the resources to actually make it feasible.
I'd like to hope we would,
Right.
in a situation like that the world would band together and be like, you know what? We're all
But here's the
we're all
thing,
human.
dude. These near-Earth asteroids, a lot of times they don't discover them until literally days before
Yeah.
they pass.
Or
So
a
this is
month
something
or-
that you probably are going to have to plan ahead for.
Well, there was just one of them not too long ago that what was the size of Texas or some shit that just flew
Jesus.
by, right?
Yeah, we had a near, and there's one that just passed by that they think is going to pass by again, and like a
Yeah.
lot of the really crazy like evangelicals are predicting that
Yeah.
that's going to be the one.
That's-
But here's the thing: the interesting thing about that is that particular asteroid coincides with the date
Oh,
that
no
the
kidding.
Egyptians and the folks at Göbekli Tepe,
That's cool.
roughly. So, who knows, man?
Interesting.
Yeah.
Matt, you up on your Göbekli Tepe?
No, I'm not. That's why I'm just shutting up here.
So it was in Turkey, is that
Mhm.
right?
Göbekli Tepe translates
Basically like a mound, like a hill. What was it? It was the Lone Hill or something.
it translates to pot-bellied hill.
Pot-bellied hill.
Mhm.
And there was a bunch of like clay tablets and stuff and a bunch of like artifacts. And come to find out, it was a dude who was trying to like, I think, herd his goats.
It was a
or
farmer
whatever.
that
Yeah.
discovered him, yeah.
And come to find out, it's like the oldest civilization we've ever found.
Interesting.
Yeah, and here's the interesting thing about Göbekli Tepe is that it was intentionally buried,
Yeah, they got rid of it on purpose.
and we don't know why they intentionally buried it.
Who buried it though?
We don't know.
Whatever
We
civilization
don't know
created
who they
it.
were.
Oh wow.
But they're
Okay.
they're pre-Babylon, like
The
pre-Mesopotamia.
So the theory,
Wow.
so Graham Hancock's theory is this: there was an asteroid strike. The people that built Göbekli Tepe survived that asteroid strike, which is why they reference it. So his theory is that they created this purposefully so that the history would not be lost, which is why they would deliberately bury it, because it would preserve it. It preserves it when it's buried.
Sure.
So it's in pristine condition when they excavate it. So that's the theory, is that it was purposefully buried so that we would discover it at some point in the future. Pretty trippy, huh?
Yeah, that is trippy right there, man.
Yeah.
Freaking out, man.
Yeah, but it makes a lot of sense, man. Like when you
It does,
start
it
to
does.
connect all the dots, it's fascinating.
Yeah.
So
Well, and then there's also that place in China. I can't think of the name of it right off the top of my head, but it was completely. They found underground caverns.
Yeah.
Big columns. I'm talking like the statue that we were talking here a while back when we quizzed Big Philly Mike, like 30 some odd. It was like,
Yeah.
3-4 stories high.
Are you talking about
these
place...
underground tunnels, and they were full of water, and they pumped them all out, and it's
Yeah.
they don't know, is artwork on the wall. They don't know who did it.
Is that have anything to do with? There's another place I believe in China, like that's completely underground, and they literally have like an army of like statues.
That was the first emperor's tomb, and that was kind of similar to Göbekli Tepe. So there was a giant hill that was out there, and it kind of had similar markings, but it's a giant pyramid, and it's the first emperor, Emperor Wandi's tomb, if I remember right.
Wandi's nuts.
Wandi's.
Yeah.
But they found an army of terracotta warriors ready to go.
And they really don't know. Do they know like what the purpose was of making?
They were servants for the afterlife.
Okay. All
So
right.
he was ready to go to war.
So they know that for sure that was what was.
Yeah, and
okay.
each one was unique because each one was supposed to be made after each individual warrior that he had.
Oh wow.
And yeah.
Damn.
His tomb is still untouched. The Chinese government won't allow anyone to excavate the internal tomb.
Wow.
And it's rumored that inside of his tomb there's a river of mercury.
That's funny because supposedly there's rivers of mercury underneath some of the megalithic sites like in South America.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of the more far out theories.
If I remember right, that's how they found some of the tombs, like the lowest chambers in the Sphinx.
Could be. I'm
because
not
of
sure.
mercury.
Yeah.
Because there's mercury down there.
Yeah, and so, and they don't. There's a theory that they used mercury to, power whatever technology they may have.
I think mercury would have been used because it was mystical, right? It was a special. It's metal, but it's liquid.
Yeah, it's trippy.
Right? So you're using that in some kind of. And if you put just raw mercury on your hand,
not
you're going to
good.
burn the fuck out of your hand.
Yeah, you will.
So it's hot, right?
Is it?
So it's got unique properties.
I remember I had a teacher in 7th grade. Her name was Miss Enlow. She was awesome. She brought mercury into the class once.
That's illegal to do now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She brought it in, and she didn't let us touch it or handle it or anything.
You can't handle it. It'll burn you.
But she used, she had it, she put it onto her projector and messed with it so that we could, see the properties and whatnot.
So, I mean, why not? That stuff's magic back then, right?
Remember I was telling you about my old college English professor that was on Jeopardy and won?
Right.
He went to that underground tomb thing
In China?
and he knew, because I've always been fascinated by Eastern, by that area of the world, because I did martial arts, and I've always been fascinated by those religions and stuff, and he knew that I was fascinated by that shit, and he took a trip to China and Japan and brought all these pictures of these places back and gave them to me. I still have them.
Well, there's a part in England, actually in London, the very first subway systems, they're all boarded up and locked down, but paranormal investigators try to get down there.
Yeah, the old tube system.
And the English government, the British government, they step in, man. It's they're like, we don't allow people to come down here. There's something that happened down there that they don't.
Do you think that's it, or do you think that's just
I don't know.
But why not? Why not let people down there?
Because it's not safe.
It's not safe for one, because they have the old tube system. Two, during World War II, they used the underground as
that's true,
as air raid shelters. So a lot of those old
true.
tube stations, they're probably either caving in or
not in
or
the best
unsafe.
shape.
Or,
Yeah.
God, I got a hair in my fucking
in
nose.
states of disrepair.
Right, in states of disrepair. Plus, the government is underground too.
Yep, right. They don't want us under there.
Winston Churchill at the time dug underground, and they have tunnels everywhere.
Oh yeah.
So
man, wouldn't you love to be able to take a peek at what's underneath Washington
see-
D.C.?
yeah,
oh
no
my
doubt.
God, under the Pentagon, right?
Sure, under the Pentagon, under Camp David.
And it goes down probably too. There's
there's a couple of
8
levels.
floors.
Oh,
yeah.
They're ready to survive if all the rest of us get nuked.
Oh, I'm sure.
But
you would have to be ready.
Yeah, of course. That's your job to be ready if
Right.
you're the president.
What's the ultimate spot then in the United States if somebody's nuking people left and right? Where can you survive?
It's a good question, brother.
Would they take them to Cheyenne Mountain?
Yeah, it's funny that you say that
I don't
because
think so.
the first place that my mind went to would be up in the mountains.
Right.
But I don't know if that would
But why?
necessarily.
So, like, Cheyenne Mountain was an old decommissioned, like, nuclear facility.
Really?
Where they kept
Oh,
missiles.
that's why you're thinking
and it's
of that.
buried inside of a mountain.
Maybe.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, if you're just thinking in terms of where you can go to survive,
Right, sheer survivability.
Mm-hmm. It's amazing. They found underground tunnels, in ancient cities that it boggles you. How in the fuck did these, basically cave people?
Right.
How did they create
And
these?
some of them are still up and running in England, too.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. But I'm talking like, hundreds of years ago.
Well, think about Roman aqueducts that are still working.
Yeah. They were good at that shit.
Yeah, I saw a picture the other day on a Facebook post, and it was a Roman bath built like in the 600 BC, I don't know, whatever, but it was still working in Hungary. And they were using it. It was old as shit, man. And here's this big old hungry dude just plopping his walrus ass down in the bath, having a bath.
Yeah. Maybe Howard Taft could have used a bath like that.
Right?
Right.
I need a fat ass master 5,000 for the bath, please.
For those of you that don't know, Howard Taft is famously the only president to have ever gotten stuck in the White House bathtub.
Yes, took 4 people, and then they put a new tub in.
Well, they would have had to have, I guess. Yeah.
It's the fat ass master 500.
He was a rather large man.
He was portly.
Mr.
Yes.
Taft.
Mr. Taft was portly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So what else, fellas?
I mean, that's all the shit that was on my mind that I specifically wanted to talk about. So,
Well, shout out to
let's get some shout outs.
Let's do some shout outs.
Yeah. Shout out to my sister-in-law, Courtney. She's been listening.
What up,
Thanks,
Courtney?
Courtney.
Last time I saw her, she's like, Matt, I want a shout out. I heard you shout out all these other people.
Yeah.
I want you to give me a shout out.
Well, there it is, right there.
So I was like, you know what?
I got
get you
one.
a shout out.
I want to give my homeboy Taylor Zumwalt. I want to give him a shout out.
What's up, Taylor?
He sent me a super nice text today, and Taylor's awesome, man. He was a student of mine, but he's also like a freak of nature, man. He takes like pieces of steel and bends them in half and shit. It's pretty crazy to see.
Well, like with his bare hands?
With his bare hands.
He has 2 bare hands? That's weird.
Bare hands, BEAR. Yeah.
Right.
Anyway, shout out to Taylor, man.
What's up, Taylor?
Thanks for the love, dude. We appreciate that.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Scuttlebutt podcast. They like
What's up, the Scuttlebutt?
Yeah,
our
we know
little
those
picture
guys.
of Louie up there, and
Yeah.
also the Coulda Killer podcast.
Yeah.
And also the Twisted Sisters with
Twisted Sister!
with Jenny and Suze. Check them out. They liked our stuff too, and also Jennifer
Okay.
Atkins. Thank you. That's Aaron's wife. Thanks for
Nice,
liking.
nice.
And
Thank
also
you.
my wife. My wife actually liked that post.
Thank you, Sarah.
Thanks, Sarah.
We appreciate it.
Thank you to listener Shelley. She's always listening and commenting and giving us stuff.
Thank you, Shelley.
Thanks to our boy Andy Caningsfield, First State Insurance Agency.
Yeah.
Give him a shout
The
out.
homie Andy.
Right.
Also the Jefferson City Paranormal Society.
Thanks to the Jeff City Paranormal Society $5 Patreon subscribers.
Our patrons.
If you would like to check us out on Patreon, also, you can check us out at patreon.com/ that's a / the old 77 podcast.
That's right.
There you can get video of the show. You can get bonus content. If we get a few more subscribers on there, we'll start pumping out new content for Patreon only.
That's right. And if you're too cheap to do that, you can just
it's only $5.
So it's not.
man.
I mean, you got to be pretty cheap.
You
to
could
be-
give us more if you want.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. We have that option. But
Just
if you're
saying.
too cheap to do that, you
Yeah.
can just call us and leave us a message.
Yeah,
Great
shout
segue.
Out, shout out to Sarah Ryan, Michael D. Overcamp.
What's up, Michael D?
Mike, that's my boy. Eric Mamer, thanks for listening in. Just everyone in the podcast community that
Too many to
continues
mention,
I
man.
know, right? There's so
just
many
to-
podcasts.
to help us. We all support. That's what's great about the podcast community, man. We all support each other.
It's not a
right?
competition, man. We can all do this.
It's not.
We've
Right.
officially crossed the 1,250 mark on followers on Instagram.
Oh,
so,
have we really?
So thank you to everybody that's been listening and following us on Instagram and commenting on our posts.
Well,
We see
also,
that.
and on our podcast on anchor.com / the old 77 podcast, we are over 4.4 thousand plays now.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
organically growing.
Right.
That's right.
Right, guys.
Thank you.
We're going to keep it coming.
Also, thank you to Last Flight Brewing Company.
Oh, yeah.
We love you guys.
Come out and see me there on
Buy
July
us a beer
21st.
at Last Flight. You can put us up on the board where you can put the old
That's
77
right.
up. You can buy us a beer out at Last
man.
Flight. We'll hook you up.
My buddy Bryce Hickman and Hickman's Automotive. Check them out. Those great prices. And Bryce is a very thorough guy. He wouldn't screw you over at all.
Not
Trust
at all.
me. I hate those guys who always try to get one over on you. Bryce
There's some
doesn't do that.
snakes.
They're the worst,
There's
man.
some snakes,
So
man.
if
You
you
got
need
to go to somebody that you can trust.
If you need someone, do that 60 store. Check them out.
That's right.
Absolutely.
So,
And guess what?
yeah.
We're out of time.
Out of time.
Later, bitches.
See you later, guys.
Love you guys.
Oh yeah.
We really do love you.
Fucking prick.
The end.
The end, right? Yeah.